you're immediately a racist, and people don't want to be called and don't want to be seen as a racist. So this makes it very difficult for a real strong popular reaction to come out.
Well, I think this is something that you and I have shared, that we both have been called this and labeled this many times.
Yes.
What is your response to people when they say to you that Fitna is racist or Wilders is racist?
Yes.
How do you respond?
Well, I always respond by saying that people who think that are really not only very, very wrong, but it's insulting. I mean, you don't have to like my what I'm standing for. You can vote on another party. You can say, well, this Wilders is a crazy guy. Whatever. You can. People are free to think and do what they like. But I'm everything but a racist. I'm a democratic politician in all my veins. I fight within the rule of law every day again in my parliament for my proposals. And if they are rejected, I accept it and I try again tomorrow. And I have nothing against anybody on the basis of race, whatever color they have, whatever sexual preference they have. I don't even have anything against Muslims. Muslims are equal to anybody. I have nothing against them. However, I have a problem with the ideology. So you should make, and I always do that also in my parliament, you should make a distinction between the Islamic ideology, which is very bad indeed, you know that better than I do, and the people. The majority of the Muslims in Western Europe are not criminals or are not terrorists. However, even by saying that, we should stop the immigration, because even though those peoples are not criminal, if we have more immigration to Western Europe, our culture will change, and unfortunately not for the better. So racism has really nothing to do with that. If Muslims are integrating or assimilating in my country, and they are equal as anybody else.
Of course. Yes, you say, speaking about immigration, it might be useful to ask you if the Dutch government has any mechanism whatsoever to try to distinguish between Muslims who are bringing the Islamic supremacist ideology and hoping to impose Sharia ultimately upon the Netherlands, and Muslims who are interested in assimilating.
Yes.
Are they even making any attempt to distinguish between the two?
No, really not. The only attempt they do, but it's a different cup of tea, they ask people to go to a course in order to not only learn the language, but to get acquainted with the values of the Netherlands. But then again, last year they spent hundreds of millions of euros in order to achieve that. But the classes are empty because they are, 2/3 is empty because they are not attending. Why are they not attending? A, because they are not interested, and B, because there is no penalty if they don't come. We are not saying that, well, we spend a lot of taxpayers' money for you to integrate in our society. You are welcome to do that. But if you don't come, please leave our country. We are not doing that. So there's no incentive at all to come. Then again, I think I would be in favor now, all the problems that we have and all the demographical problems that we face, that there should be a full stop, at least for a couple of years, when it comes to the immigration from Muslim countries.
Absolutely.
Because I believe that, and you know the word taqiyya, when I was still at primary school, but you know what taqiyya means, and it means that even though there is no mechanism, Muslims can, I'm not saying they all do, but they can lie, and they can be politically correct. But I'm very sure that if the numbers grow, and they will, but not even become 51%, not even a majority. I mean, you know, there have been studies where countries being compared where the Muslim population was 15, 20, 25, 30%. And even if they are not a majority but become stronger, they will change their tune, and the Islamization will be very hard to be returned into what we have today.
Oh, quite so, and we're already seeing that.
Yeah.
You mentioned a little while back Islamization and the demands for accommodation. And we're seeing those increasingly in the United States.
Yeah.
They've actually stepped up markedly over just the last couple of years. And I have been reporting on them, and for example, people saying in the Swift meatpacking plants in Nebraska and Colorado that the Muslims saying that they will not take the breaks at the ordinary times. They demand that the break schedule be changed so that they can stop work and break the Ramadan fast. And the meatpacking plant was happy to accommodate them, but then the non-Muslims protested and said that this meant that they had to work longer hours. and they were being put at a disadvantage vis-a-vis the Muslim employees. Now, my question is, the reaction to my reporting on some of these stories has been people saying that this is just hysteria, that it's hysteria if not something worse. It may be racism or bigotry here again, that there are reasonable accommodations given to all sorts of groups. Orthodox Jews have won permission to wear the kippah in various circumstances, in various professional activities. Why should it be any different to grant a few cultural accommodations to Muslims? And they say that if somebody opposes this for Muslims while favoring it for Jews or other groups, then obviously there's something there that has to do with simple Islamophobia and nothing else.
Well, I believe it has nothing to do with Islamophobia. First, I believe it's very important to say that the biggest disease in Europe today, Robert, is a lethal disease, is called cultural relativism. This is the first thing we should fight and go to the doctor for and find a good prescription by the most political elite. People tend to say out of political correctness or maybe post-colonial guilt or whatever reason that the Islamic culture is the same as the Jewish or the Christian culture and tradition. But this is so wrong. This is not true. It's not even a real class of civilizations. I subscribe to what the brave woman Wafa Sultan said about this. She says it's not even a clash of civilization. It's a clash between rationality and barbarism or backwardness. And one difference as well is that the Islamization, Islam comes to the West not to assimilate, not to integrate. That is a mistake that many people, also in my country, make. And if you go out of the idea that people are here to assimilate, why should you not give them a holiday or let them work earlier or whatever? But this is not the truth. They are there to submit us. They are there to overrule us. They are there to change the whole country into their system. And Islam knows nothing but Islam. And it has no place for anything else but Islam. So if we would accommodate it, let me tell you, it will be not just one step. The day after we give them a public holiday or compulsory halal food on schools, the next day it will be something else. And the day after it will be something else again. And this is very bad. And I'm very disappointed. Also in my own country, we have a cabinet member. She's from a Christian party, the Christian Union Party. And she said publicly that she could imagine that the end of the Ramadan would be a national holiday in the Netherlands. Can you remember a Christian member of the Dutch cabinet? And there was an enormous public outrage. I mean, I was happy that she said it, even though it was stupid, because it showed that the people are increasingly fed up by the accommodation and the appeasing of a Muslim minority, and but more important, a culture that wants to destroy us. Because this is the end of the day what Islam will do. It will destroy everything that we stand for. And the more we accommodate them, the less we will get in return, I'm sure of that.